Good day and welcome to Royal Top Stories, where royal drama meets real-world chaos and everyone somehow ends up in the headlines. Picture this: Prince Harry, Donald Trump, King Charles, Princess Anne, Prince Andrew, and Meghan Markle all walk into the same news cycle. No, it is not the start of a joke. It is today's royal reality, and it is louder than Buckingham Palace on bin night. What happens when a former royal soldier takes on a former American president while the king tries to play peacemaker, Princess Anne defends the family outcast, and Meghan Markle quietly slips off Netflix's most watched list? Strap in, because this is not diplomacy, this is royal whiplash. Quick favor, if you are loving this, hit that subscribe button. It is free, takes a second, and means the world to us. Thanks if you did. Now back to the show. Let us start with Prince Harry, who decided subtlety was overrated and issued a lightning-fast response to Donald Trump after remarks about Afghanistan that many veterans described as insensitive and wrong. The speed alone raised eyebrows. If Harry were still a working royal, this would have gone through 17 layers of palace protocol, 3 committees, and possibly a man named Nigel with a clipboard. Instead, Harry went full combustion mode and fired straight from the heart. And to be fair, he has earned the right to speak. He served in Afghanistan, he saw friends injured, he is tied to the Invictus Games, and sees himself as a voice for veterans. This is not armchair outrage, this is lived experience. So when Harry says, "I was there," it carries weight. It is not a hashtag, it is a memory. But here comes the twist. Harry isn't just a veteran, he's a famous veteran. When he criticizes a former United States president, it's not just an opinion, it becomes international news. That's the danger zone. You and I can shout at the television. Harry shouts, and it becomes a diplomatic ripple. Transitioning neatly into the awkward bit, enter King Charles, stage left, wearing the crown and carrying the burden of the so-called special relationship with the United States. The king has a scheduled visit coming up, and suddenly his son has gone nuclear on a man who could still influence American politics. Imagine trying to host a dinner party after your son has insulted one of the guests. That's the king's current vibe. Charles must be neutral, calm, dignified. While Harry is lighting matches, the king is trying to stop the curtains from catching fire. Publicly, the palace can say, Harry is not a working royal. Privately, it's safe to assume the king was not thrilled. This is monarchy meets modern messaging, and the Wi-Fi is unstable. Now add another layer. Princess Anne, famously no-nonsense, has quietly stepped into the Prince Andrew saga with a surprising stance. According to royal insiders, Anne believes the punishment has gone too far. Andrew has lost his military titles, his residence, his public role, and even, reportedly, his firearms, which is often a sign of concern about mental well-being. Anne's view is simple. Discipline is one thing, but humiliation is another. She worries it has crossed from justice into cruelty. She is said to be aligned with Prince Edward on this, while King Charles and Prince William are firmly on the side of enough is enough. Think of it as a royal tug-of-war, except nobody is smiling for the camera. Andrew, meanwhile, is described as isolated, estranged from daughters, friends, and former allies, no palace duties, no public redemption arc, and no sympathetic playlist. Anne's concern is not about clearing his name, but about what happens when someone is stripped of everything at once. It's less royal soap opera and more psychological thriller. And while the men are busy clashing, let's pivot sharply to Meghan Markle, who has quietly slipped out of Netflix's top rankings faster than you can say streaming algorithm. Her latest project didn't crack the top 1,000 most watched list. That's not a fall from grace, that's a trap door. Sources suggest there will be no Series 3. Instead, Meghan may pivot to short-form online content, promoting her lifestyle brand with curated clips and seasonal specials. Less Hollywood studio, more social media studio. It's not a failure, it's a rebrand. Think of it as swapping the red carpet for the ring light. So let's connect the dots. Harry speaks out like an activist, Charles must act like a diplomat, Anne behaves like a worried sister, Andrew lives like a royal exile, Meghan reshapes herself as a digital entrepreneur. This is not just family drama, this is monarchy under modern pressure. The old royal rule was silence and stiff upper lip. The new rule is statements, interviews, and strategic leaks. Harry reacts fast, the king reacts slowly, Anne reacts emotionally, Meghan reacts commercially, and the public reacts instantly. And here's the real twist. None of them are entirely wrong. Harry is right to care about veterans, Charles is right to protect international relations, Anne is right to worry about a broken brother, Meghan is right to adapt to changing media. The issue isn't intention, the issue is timing and tone. It's like an orchestra where everyone is playing a different song. Harry is on drums, Charles is on violin, Anne is on cello, Meghan is on electric guitar, and Andrew is somewhere in the back with a broken triangle. What makes this moment explosive is the speed. Harry's statement came out so fast it felt reactive, not reflective. Commentators described it as opportunistic, like grabbing the microphone before anyone else could. That doesn't mean it was wrong, but it did mean it landed with a thud rather than a nod. Meanwhile, the king must now walk into an American visit carrying this tension like extra luggage, smile politely but also show moral weight, be warm but not weak. That is not an easy dance when your son is tweeting in combat boots. And then there's Princess Anne, quietly reminding everyone that even disgraced princes are still human. Her intervention doesn't rewrite history, but it adds a moral complication. It says, yes, punish him, but don't destroy him. That's a very Anne thing to do, sharp, practical, and deeply uncomfortable. And as for Meghan, her streaming setback tells us something important. Royal connections don't guarantee ratings. Fame opens the door, but content keeps it open. The pivot to short clips suggests a strategy shift from grand statements to controlled storytelling.